All right, so here's what's happening in Washington, D.C. Day 2 of the hearings on January 6th was focusing primarily on what the president, who he was listening to, what he was told, whatever. You know what? Here's the problem with this. They can have all the hearings they want. Meanwhile, it's like Rome is burning. And I say that because you had an assassination attempt against a sitting Supreme Court justice. You have the stock market today, as we're on, is down 650 to 700 points and looks like going lower. You have gas at an all-time high. You have the inability for parents to get baby formula. And the cost of food is also gone out of sight. Now, our government affairs office is working with Congress to try to fix some of this.
What's the priorities here in Washington, D.C.? Talking about something that happened in reality and literally ages ago, or getting gas to a reasonable level and having baby formula and having people who can buy food at a grocery store and not go home and be absolutely broke.
And here's the president's explanation for why all this food's out of control and all of the gas prices are out of control. Blame Vladimir Putin.
But we've never seen anything like Putin's tax on both food and gas. America should also understand our economy has unique strengths that we can build on. The job market is the strongest it's been since World War II, notwithstanding the inflation.
He's right that there's jobs. The problem is they can't keep up with inflation. And blaming this, Andy, on Putin. First of all, you study history. Why did we let ourselves get into this situation when we were energy independent 2 years ago? An exporter of energy. Now we are begging OPEC, begging the Saudis to get more oil production into the United States.
And the Saudis are telling us we don't want to talk to you. We sent a delegation secretly to Venezuela. They didn't want to talk to us. So then the President of the United States calls Saudi Arabia, and they say, we're not taking the call. He says he's going to go over there to try to beg them hat in hand to produce oil in greater quantities through OPEC, and they said, we don't want to see you. Why are we doing this?
This is evidence. If anybody needs to view just the transition that's taken place and how we think about the American people and American families and how the United States government, when it sets policy, it drives outcomes. We are living that nightmare today. Food is expensive. I was with a group of folks last week whose kids played on a travel soccer team. Half the games have been canceled because they can't afford to drive to the away games for their kids. These are intentional. These are intentional policies. This didn't happen randomly. This isn't Putin's inflation. This is President Biden inflation.
The concern when you have elections is there's consequences. One of the consequences is that I'm very concerned about. Jeff is running our office in Jerusalem now. Just got back from Jerusalem. Is, Jeff, this move now to open up a Palestinian consulate, American consulate for Palestinian affairs, in Jerusalem. So basically going back to this kind of divided Jerusalem mentality.
This is quite simply the American government saying we no longer care about Israel's sovereignty. It's the only country in the world that's being treated this way.
We don't have consulates and embassies in the same city anywhere else in the world. This is the traditional left-wing policy of failing to acknowledge that the challenge here is the Palestinians and not the Israelis. And to go back and put a consulate there that says, no, somehow we're going to deal independently with the Palestinians apart from the rightful holders of that real estate, the Israeli nation and the Jewish people, that is really dangerous.
What's the sense on the street now about this situation? How concerned are people in Israel about this move with the Palestinian consulate coming back?
It's catastrophic. The Israeli populace as a whole understands they would have loved, and they would still love, for there to be real peace. But the only peace they've seen has happened when there's strength and when Israeli sovereignty is recognized. And then it's actually a better life for everyone in the region, the Jews and the Arabs, in Israel and outside. There was a news report today on Palestinian television that the Palestinian Prime Minister, Mohammed Shtayyeh, he said that there's no Arab country that continues to give support to the Palestinian Authority except for Algeria, which means the entire Arab world understands that the Palestinian Authority is nothing but a platform for terror and the destruction of Israel. It's the liberal West in Europe and in America that seems to be propping up these terrorists.
We made a lot of progress on the Israel front. We're going to continue to fight for Israel. It's also fighting for the United States when you do that. I've appeared at the International Criminal Court on behalf of Israeli issues and positions. So believe me, we understand this.